Today, we're diving deep into one of the largest and most complex uprisings in history, the Taiping Rebellion. A war that shook China to its core in the mid-19th century and had ramifications that still echo through the country today. The Taiping Rebellion lasted from 1850 to 1864, and it's often overlooked when people talk about major historical events. But this conflict was huge. It's one of the deadliest wars in history, with estimates of 20 to 30 million lives lost. So, how did it all begin? To understand the Taiping Rebellion, we need to first look at Qing Dynasty China. By the mid-1800s, China was facing severe internal problems. The Qing rulers, who had been in power for nearly 200 years, were dealing with widespread corruption, rebellions, economic hardship, and foreign pressures, like the Opium Wars with Britain. Peasants, suffering from high taxes, famine, and poor living conditions, were frustrated with the government's inability to solve these problems. And in the midst of this chaos, a man named Hong Xiuquan emerged. Born in 1814, Hong Xiuquan was a failed scholar. He tried to pass China's imperial exams several times, but never succeeded. In 1837, after one particularly devastating failure, Hong had a vision. In this vision, he saw himself as the younger brother of Jesus Christ, chosen to rid China of its corruption and oppression. He believed that God had appointed him to lead a new heavenly kingdom on earth. Feeling divinely inspired, Hong began to preach his new religion, a mix of Christianity, Confucianism, and his own ideas to the people. He quickly gathered followers who came to be known as the Taiping. By 1850, he was ready to act. Taiping Rebellion officially began in 1850, when Hong's followers took control of the city of Guangxi in southern China. They declared themselves the rulers of the Taiping Heavenly Kingdom. At the core of their movement was the idea that Hong Xiuquan was the heavenly king, destined to overthrow the Qing Dynasty and create a utopian society based on Christian principles. The Qing Dynasty was quick to respond, sending troops to crush the Taiping forces. But despite being outnumbered, the Taiping armies were highly motivated, and they quickly gained ground. By 1853, the Taiping army had captured the city of Nanjing, and Hong declared it the capital of his heavenly kingdom. From Nanjing, the Taiping army controlled large parts of southern China. Their government was a radical mix of religious fervor and social reform. They abolished traditional Confucian beliefs, instituted radical land reforms, and promoted gender equality, even empowering women to fight alongside men. Women, for example, were allowed to join the military and were given greater rights in marriage. The Taiping even tried to eliminate the foot-binding practice, a centuries-old Chinese tradition. However, the heavenly kingdom was not without its flaws. Hong's leadership became more erratic as time passed. He struggled with paranoia, executed rivals, and made strange decisions that weakened his kingdom's military strategy. Despite early successes, the Taiping Heavenly Kingdom began to falter. The Qing Dynasty, with the help of Western forces, mounted a brutal counteroffensive. British and French troops, who were already involved in the Second Opium War, helped the Qing, seeing the Taiping as a threat to China's stability. The Taiping forces, despite their zeal, were no match for the more experienced Qing army, bolstered by Western military technology. By 1864, after years of bloody warfare, the Taiping capital of Nanjing was retaken by Qing forces. Hong Xiuquan died in the final months of the war, and the movement crumbled. The fall of the Taiping Rebellion marked the end of a dream for many Chinese people. The rebellion was devastating. 20 to 30 million people died in the conflict, and it left China even more fragmented and vulnerable to foreign powers. Its legacy is complex. The Taiping Rebellion highlighted the deep social and economic issues in China. It contributed to the growing calls for reform that would later manifest in the self-strengthening movement and the Xinhai Revolution. While the Taiping never succeeded in toppling the Qing, they did lay the groundwork for the eventual fall of the imperial system just a few decades later. So, there you have it, the story of the Taiping Rebellion. A movement born out of faith, frustration, and the desire for change that nearly brought down one of the world's oldest empires. Though they ultimately failed, the Taiping left behind a legacy that shaped China's future in profound ways. What do you think about the Taiping Rebellion? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this deep dive, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more historical content. Thanks for stopping by Timely Tales. Let's dive into history one story at a time.